Hey, Kliq This fans, want to get closer to the show than ever? Join Kliq This TV. Kliq This TV offers early commercial-free access to wrestling's hottest podcast, plus live audience tapings of their show every friggin' week. Head to kliqthistv.com now and get inside the show that's just too sweet.
The following podcast contains mature language and adult discussion.
Hey Kev, thanks for meeting me out here. I'm gonna have a chamomile tea if you don't mind. I know you're sipping a scotch. I've been a teetotaler lately, but I wanted to tell you I've been watching a lot of wrestling lately, and I keep returning to Io Sky for some reason, and I had this urge to put crimson streaks in my hair and get in the ring, so I put an ad in the paper looking for someone with black lipstick and covered in tats to kick my ass every night, sometimes 3 times a day. And I realized I just wanted to be Io Sky getting my ass kicked.
Well,
ever happen to you?
No, as long as you're somewhere a former fashion, lose that belt before WrestleMania, I ain't got a problem with it. But
you know what really sucks is if you're listening to this show and you don't watch, you can't see that I'm Sam Rockwell right now with the face swap.
Right. Well, that's their fault. It'll make a good whatever this clip or whatever.
Hey Kev.
Hey. Welcome
Good
back.
To see you again. Kliq This Kevin Nash podcast. He's Kev. I'm Sean. On the road again, Kev. You're back. You're going hard. You're back out.
Back out. 2 out of 3 weeks.
And you're going home. Going to Michigan.
Yep.
Right?
That's home.
Where what city is this in?
Kind of Ypsilanti, Ann Arbor. Where the university,
geographically, help me here. So I'm looking at Michigan.
Where the University of Michigan is. Probably 40 miles west of Detroit.
Okay. Oh, so you're right there.
Eastern Michigan University's in Ypsilanti. And then Ann Arbor is where the University of Michigan is.
When you're off the road, like you've been, and then you go back, do you see like a big... do the lines grow at all? Not that they've ever been small for you, but like when you have to take a break and then you're back out, is it?
I would think that it would.
New figures are out now, right?
No, because like what happened was, like when like I was scheduled pretty. Like I used to go out a lot, and then when Tristan passed, I would just be like, okay, this is the one I need to do. This is the one I need to do. This is the one I need to do. And I would just keep blowing them off. So now, like the first one I've done since SummerSlam was Cincinnati, and you know it's my own fault, but it's not my fault because you know if you don't feel like getting on a plane and dealing with human beings, you just don't do it. And but it was really I had a really good experience in Cincinnati. The people were great. So now I've got to kind of build my reputation back of being dependable, and you know if it says I'm going to be there, I'm going to be there. So, so I will be there. I'm already packed, and plus it's nice to, even if it's pretty impossible to see anybody in my family with the schedule I'm on. I land, I sign Saturday. I rifle through. You know, a signing. I could go out to eat, but then the next day I've got a early signing. I have a 4:00 flight back on Sunday to the airport, and then I get home at 11:30 or 10:30 Sunday night. So it's just kind of bang, bang, bang.
Yeah. Back to the hotel, twist one off, and then you gotta get on the plane. So you're doing them again. You're doing maybe not as much, but you'll do a toot.
I'll do it. What I'll do is usually I'll have a drink. I mean, I'll smoke some reefer.
You'll smoke reefer.
But I will not freebase. I won't base.
Not cocaine.
No, I will not freebase cocaine.
But you'll do it too.
I'll do toot.
You're looking bigger, Kevin. I only see 1/8 of your body, but your
I actually
width.
I actually went above the 288 mark today. So
Where were you at during recovery, during the surgery recovery?
shit,
What did you land at?
I went all the way down to 262.
Oh, wow.
So
I'm down 48 pounds. I feel like I've kind of given that to you in the past week.
brother,
Are we getting the gun? Are we getting the guns? We getting the lats are the back. Shoulders.
this is that's what your traps.
The traps.
Delts.
Yeah.
I can just see. I mean, I can see it in my my upper chest. Like everything, shit comes back. You train your whole life. They say there's that muscle memory shit, and it definitely works.
Yeah.
And I picked my protein up. I'm doing like 320 grams of protein a day.
You've gotten a little. You looks like you got color.
Definitely got color.
Not blading.
Yeah, it's nice. We finally got a couple of days. So Tamara and I try to get out to every day around right before noon. Like get out for a half. Like we limit ourselves to a half hour. So a half hour of sun's all we get. And if you got, I mean, it's 8 UV right now. So that's, I don't want to get, I've had enough fucking cancer burned off me to.
She commented on a picture I had of when I was out with the ladies for Nicole's birthday, and she said, everyone looks great. And I said, it's the beef tallow, Tam. And she texts back, she goes, you too? I said, that's right.
Fuck yeah.
I mentioned the blading a minute ago in a joking fashion, but you know what I ran into last night on Twitter? Maven did a video replying to our discussion. Did you see this?
No.
About first his accent, which you did an impression of, and he said, what did he say again? He said, I don't have a weird accent, Kev. I have an accent that you're not ready for. And he did talk about the blading. I guess I said, did Maven ever blade? You talked about a video he did about blading. I said, did he ever blade? So give it, look, oh, Jesus Christ. Is that Jimmy Breslin? Who the hell is that?
Leno.
Jesus Christ. I should know better than to send a link before the
We're
weight
not,
loss.
don't fucking, I don't want to hear this fucking shit.
You don't want to hear it?
No, fuck no.
It wasn't mean. It was, okay.
No, I don't want to hear his voice fucking irritates me.
Okay.
I guess I'm not ready to hear a black man talk to me like fucking he's doing a Dave Chappelle fucking gig.
You did reference Dave Chappelle, and he did reply to the Dave Chappelle reference.
So,
but you can look at that on your own time, I guess.
No, I don't give a fuck. He was around for a fucking cup of coffee. God bless him.
Hey, speaking of Maven, I saw PJ on one of his shows. Now, PJ, he rode with you guys, or
no?
Back in the day,
he didn't really ride. There wasn't room for him to ride with us.
We just hung out. I always heard him kind of referenced as a potential, like, coming off the bench Kliq.
He was.
member.
He was like but it was always like he was like if we sat in the back, if the Kliq was in the back of the bus, he was always welcome.
Okay. And you knew him to be a good guy.
Yeah.
All right. That's because of late. There's a lot of stuff about him lately, and kind of like screwing fans over and promoters. And I haven't investigated this, so I don't know if it's true. I'm just telling you what's out there.
No, but he's had some fucking substance problems, and
I think he's been pretty clean of late, though, right? I think that was the story.
I don't know. I lost contact with him. my whole thing is at this point in my life, like I absolutely will not chip into a GoFundMe. Like I'm not going to be a part of that.
There's just so many, aren't there?
Yeah,
Kev?
it's just
It's
I go fund. I have people in my family that I'm putting through college, and it's like I lived. Like I'll see people asking for money that fucking drove nicer cars than I did. You know, during that person's fucking run, he drove a nicer car than I did. It's just like, you know, that's fine, and you went through your fucking coin. I didn't, and it's not my job to fucking, because nothing's going to change. You're not going to become fiscally fucking responsible if I fucking throw you a couple of grand.
well, sometimes it's for like a medical thing, right? And a temporary bridge to get some work done because
Yeah, but it's like
insurance
it's like
sometimes.
fucking a car goes off the side of the Mackinac fucking bridge, and you want to get the bumper fixed. You know, like Jesus, I waste my fucking time.
Does that happen a lot, Kev? When you
take the AM radio out and call it a day.
You're always cited as one of the people that made the business a business, and people credit you, rightfully so, with the with contract talk and stuff like that in wrestling. I'm talking about.
Right.
So naturally, you kind of, because when you carry that identity, people might look at you and see just a giant bag of money. How often would you, I'm just talking from the boys, family is different, but how often would the boys come to you?
I have so many people that have $5,000 and up that owe me in this business, that have, and some of them have had the balls to call me owing me $5,000 plus and asking for another $5,000, and always using the term loan. Can
Is
you
there interest involved?
Oh,
Who am I asking?
fuck. Like I said, I don't.
Is it connected to the prime, or is it just
No, it's just it's
special rate
no,
from
it's
one of the
fucking
boys?
it's connected to fucking how I was brought up.
no? I mean the rate that like what do you-
Exactly.
what do you-
Yeah, the rate starts at 20.
All right, Vito.
It's like yeah. Ask your bookie if you can get 3.2%.
So, okay, so are we talking about like WWF, WCW run, or even today?
Oh, I still get asked. I just got asked by a friend of mine the other day for money.
Worker?
No, just a buddy.
But do workers still reach out to you?
No, I
Or
think
did that pretty much end when
yeah, I
you
think
left?
they know that.
That door's closed.
Yeah, I think they watched the bridge on the River Kwai, and when I fucking went like this with the fucking gimmick, I think they realized that bridge is gone.
Okay.
It would have to. I mean, there's 5 people that I would definitely, no hesitation, if they needed anything.
Right.
Everybody else, man, it's just kind of like you just.
I just look at that business as like shark-infested waters. And if you're the biggest shark, like how many people are just trying to attach themselves
I'm not
to
the
you
biggest
and
shark.
reach you? Not
I mean,
now, but
Yeah.
I mean WCW.
No, I mean,
NWO.
I just look
I mean,
at
I
it-
know Hogan was there too, but
No, I look at it this way. It's just like, no matter what you get paid, I didn't spend money when I was fucking Oz. My spending didn't increase from Oz to Nash by much. My first
your
fucking
personal spending, but your fortune increased.
Yeah, but that's
and everyone knew that. That shit was in the sheets. Everyone knew what you were making. What you $900,000 a year in WCW or whatever the hell. So you kind of become you could become in a predatory business like that, kind of a target. Hey, Kev, man. Hey, buddy. Listen, man.
Well, fuck, there's guys making $11-12 million now. Why don't you go fucking ask them? Fucking driving up and down the road in a fucking RV.
Hey, Kev, I bought a bunch of Tesla stock last year.
You know, like you go ask one of those. Go ask fucking a guy that wears a different suit every fucking show.
Listen, he followed me on Twitter the other day. I gotta watch what I say. You ever do that when someone follows you? You go, fuck, what did I say? What's out there?
No, I don't give a fuck. Nothing I won't say to your fucking face. Nothing I won't say behind your back. I won't say to your face.
I won't say to your face. Exactly.
Yeah, I've always been that guy.
What did you think of this suit this week?
This week's show?
Yeah, I wasn't. Some weeks I'm impressed. I wasn't very impressed with the Zoot suit.
So the crazy thing about this whole thing is
the whole thing. You mean the Cody Rhodes angle?
No, that I'm talking about the process of the movement of Raw from this week getting closer to WrestleMania.
Okay.
So the process started for me was like I was on social media and I was on Instagram and I saw a clip where fucking Cena cut a promo to Cody saying, you know, I make billionaires billions, and you fucking, you rip off their kids or whatever it was.
Right.
I saw that. And I was just like, how the fuck did this get out? And I went, oh, fuck. They're in London.
They're in London. So
I mean, it's live, so I have it. So at 3 o'clock Monday, I'm watching the show, which is because I've already worked out. Tamara's fucking not, she's out running errands. So, I mean, I'm just, it's the middle of the day. I've got my son. Everything's fucking, it's like a completely different experience. So I watched the opening segment. And my impression was, when I watched it, was like, oh, fuck. Like, Cena ate him alive. Just my opening, my impression. And then I thought that when Cody gave him when they had the physicality, which I thought was like never touched, could you imagine fucking watching a UFC fight and McGregor got knocked out?
Knockout blow 2 weeks
during the fucking weigh-in.
Yeah. Yeah, that was curious. I was going to ask you about that because
I just thought that was a bad call.
He was murdered. So now,
yeah. Well, and the thing is,
we're suspending disbelief. He only needs to hit the finisher in
one
3
time
weeks,
because
it's over.
Yeah, Cena's got a glass fucking whatever back of his head. I don't know.
Neck. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if Cena sold it for fucking, be one thing if Taker was in there and you had to get his whole fucking, music and the whole fucking exit in, you can lay there while there's no light on, but in the middle of the O in front of 17,000 people was kind of like, wow. And then I take it as, okay, he's showing the people that even though I kind of shot on you a little bit, I'll do business. And I'm like, I don't like that message either. So then I watched the whole show. So then I went back to it on like Thursday, and I watched the show again. This is after I've kind of listened. I've talked to a couple of people that have watched it. I've heard their opinions and everything else, and I'm like, okay. So now I'm going to watch it, and then it was just like, and there's some people that I really. I take what that have drawn money in our business, and I take what they say,
top guys?
Well, if you're drawing money in the business, you're a top guy. Because that term is not used lightly. Drawing money means fucking you're selling out houses.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just like, and people closer to my era, and they were just like, I don't know if I'm too keen on the, it's like, our era, we kind of went back and forth more. Now it's kind of like, you cut a monologue on me, I cut a monologue on you, you cut a monologue back, and I was just like, yeah, I see that.
There is the awkward, I'm going to stand here and just listen to you abuse me for 7 minutes and say nothing back. There is that weirdness as I watch. It is kind of uncomfortable. Whoever said that, I agree with that.
Yeah, it is weird. But then and the whole thing is like, of all the things to trigger John Cena was, as he's leaving, he says, at least I've never had anybody chant that I can't wrestle. I mean, I would have turned around and said, yeah, well, if you were standing on my fucking wall that you wouldn't need to. Like, come on, really? Like, that's the dig.
Yeah.
That's the dig on your fucking on your retirement run. You could just never hit that high G. Like, who gives a fuck? So it was one of those things where I just didn't like the physicality, because it made it. It felt kind of like, the first time I watched it, it felt kind of shooty. It felt like fucking,
Right.
It felt like they were shooting at each other.
Yeah, exactly.
I thought they were kind of trying to one-up each other. And, it reminded me that one promo I remember that Cena cut on Roman, when he said, he was talking, he stopped, he goes, now, this is called a promo. You're going to have to learn how to do one of these if you want to draw money or take my spot or whatever the fuck it was. But it was one of those things when I was sitting there watching TV, I went, oh, fuck. Yeah. Like, because John, one thing you will not do is you will not out-talk John Cena. Like, you're just not going to. He's probably, in the last 15 years, probably by far the best talker in the business.
All right, so let's take this.
I guess I should say, make it right and call it a promo. Best promo guy.
Well, that's what they're called, right?
I don't know.
Well, is it too markish to say promo? Should I call it something else?
To me, what are you doing? They're just talking. Dialogue.
All right, so let's take this segment. C plus, B minus, where do you put it? And let's make it an A. So what I'm hearing, you would keep a lot of the content of the dialogue, but just maybe more back and forth. Not let somebody go for 5 minutes, then somebody. So just shoot it back and forth to each other. Content could be the same, but some interruptions, back and forth.
I wouldn't have started, if I'm Cody, I wouldn't have started off by saying I lisp. And I, like, because to me, if John's not going to bring up the lisp, like, it's obviously something he does, and it's something that I'm sure people notice, To me, it'd be like
a dusty too.
It would be the equivalent of, if you were talking to a girl and you were having an argument, and like you just looked at her, you go, "Hey, I know what you're gonna say. I couldn't bottom out in the fucking thimble on the Monopoly game." Like, you wouldn't give her that. You're just not gonna hand that out.
I know I have a small cock.
Yeah, all right. I remember one time Stephanie cut a promo on Paul, and it was like he had a small hose when they were like antagonists against each other. He says, Jesus Christ, he said, a baseball bat's small when you're waving it around an airplane hangar.
Right.
So, it's just like, there's always ways to get around and say things. I think that watching it back Thursday, I think that the biggest thing that I took from it was that's not Dusty's kid. That's Cody Rhodes. Dusty was his dad. Like, Cody isn't
his own guy.
Yeah, Cody's Cody now. Because, I don't know. It's just, it's very hard for me to have grown up and watched the meteoric rise of Steve Austin, and a guy that came down with a vest and cut off jeans, and he was kind of every man, and he fought the boss, and then to a guy that's dressed up in a suit. The reason I got into one of the biggest turn-ons for me in wrestling was not having to fucking put on a tie. Like, where else do you make 7 figures and don't put a tie on? And you're not working for Escobar.
But it's the gimmick, right? This is his.
Yeah, but is he? But is he? It's his father was the everyman. It's the son of a plumber.
Correct.
With the fucking the jeans and the skull in the back pocket, and so it's John comes down with. I don't know. I want to know I would like to know when it's all over with. I'd like to just ask John, like, why did you switch to like the absolute most dad sneakers you could find? God damn. Like,
would you update the whole scene? Like that Cena thing back then was okay. Would you have brought him back looking a little different? No.
No, that just those little tiny with the dark socks and those. It looks like he's going out to cut the lawn. I'm hoping he's got to deal with those motherfuckers. Cody looks like he's got some big old fucking Shaq boots on.
Yeah, no, his shoe game is strong. So let's continue making this an A+. So the dialogue. Now, how do you handle the end of the segment? You talked about, I think we're in agreement, like having him lay out like he was murdered, bit of an issue because it was one move.
Can't have physicality.
Not at all. Pull apart?
No. How do you have a pull apart after fucking Punk and Reigns had a pull apart for fucking 3 episodes?
Mm-hmm.
Why is there a pull apart? What Cena's saying is, doesn't matter who the machine puts all their fucking bells and whistles behind.
Right.
You're not better than I am, nor will you ever be. That's why I'm going to fucking show you. I'm going to beat you, and I'm going to take the fucking belt with me.
Despite what I'm wearing on my feet.
Doesn't matter, though. That's just, that's optical. That's fucking attention to detail, which I fucking absolutely love. I'm sure nobody else even fucking noticed.
No. Kev, had he been wearing BRUNT boots, things might have been a little different. I'm holding, by the way, in my hands the Maven boot. I wanted, no one's going to believe I'm walking off a construction site right now, right? So I wanted something that could function fashionably with my jeans or anything. And so I grabbed this pair of the Maven boots from our friends, our new friends at BRUNT, B-R-U-N-T. I've had boots before, and you can have boots that look as stylish as you want, but you're going to compromise comfortability.
Does that boot come in a dark sole?
I I'd have to go back to the site to see. I liked the light sole, but here I'm looking at an image here. It does look like there's a black sole for the. I think that's a brown that I'm looking at right there. There though.
I mean,
that,
I'm looking at to me, I always
Omen.
If I can get a darker sole, I will, because if not, then you got to take that fucking Clorox fucking chalk thing and clean them when they get marked.
The interior, Kevin, is what I'm going to say is they are extremely durable. I mean, these are ready for the work site. They're heavy as hell.
Well, yeah, that's a nice fucking pair of boots.
But man, they have this soft pad, and you can actually adjust the interior because they have a removable pad if you need a little more width inside for your foot. I left that soft pad in; it's perfect for me. But at the end of the day, they have found the
what size
sweet
shoe
spot.
is that?
Well, I'm a 9.5, so this is either a 9 or a 9.5, whatever they had available that fit. And this, they have over 500,000 customers already, so this is nothing new to the world, but it was new to me, Kev. And they are waterproof.
It's a good looking boot.
Oh man, it's waterproof, it's slip proof, it's oil resistant, heat resistant, electrical hazard rated. So this can be worn on the work site, Kev. And I even have Beethoven's wearing the BRUNT cap in honor of our friends today. You can finally have durable work boots, Kev, and they're as comfortable as sneakers. But they're not just about work boots. There's a full range of high-performance gear built for tough jobs, from heavy-duty work pants, weather-resistant jackets, BRUNT designs, durable and reliable workwear to keep you protective and productive in any condition. So they didn't just make a durable work boot, they reinvented comfort for the hardest workers out there. And for a limited time, our listeners get $10 off at BRUNT by using the code Kliq, K-L-I-Q, at checkout. Just head to BRUNTworkwear.com, use the code Kliq, and you're all set. Even better, BRUNT lets you try all of their products on the job, risk-free. So after you purchase, they're going to ask you where you heard about them. Please support the show. Tell them we sent you. Thank you, BRUNT. You would not steer you wrong. I'm so happy. All of our product lines, we only let the best in, Kev. And I'm proud. I'm proud to wear I'm going to wear them tomorrow again. I might even post on social media, me and my BRUNTs. All right, so Wrestlemania tickets. What are we looking at here, Kev?
Available tickets.
How is it possible there's 5,000 tickets for
5,000.
Wrestlemania?
There's 5,000 left.
I thought this was like the Super Bowl where no one even knew who was in it and it was sold out. And let's see, where are the seats? Is that like a heat map? Can I see where the available seats are? Can you get good seats still? Zoom into that mother. I'm assuming so. The blue. Okay, so we're using our friends at Game Time. Thank you. Yeah, it seems you can still do okay, guys. If you have not gotten your tickets.
That ring is really tiny in there.
Yeah, it's a big place. What's the capacity, Steve? 51? What did I see? Or is that what was sold?
Current setup's 51,000.
51. Okay, so 45 sold out of 51.
So,
yeah.
But I mean, they've sold almost 2,000 in the last 7 days. Maybe.
Is it a travel thing? What's keeping people?
A lot of people, I think, were waiting to be liberated.
Well, it happened today.
Oh boy,
market's been liberated.
Liberated from your fucking earnings. Tough times, man.
Yeah. We'll get to all that. I want to let everyone know that we had some folks who wrote in after watching and listening last week, like either M and AJW, or is it ManDo?
So we're just leaving the Cena thing because we went to a boot ad?
Well, I have the Raw coverage. I have Raw coverage. You want to do the Raw coverage now? I could do Raw coverage.
I just want to finish. We didn't finish what we were talking about.
Did you have more? Okay, I wanted to know how to make it.
You wanted to make it an A plus. You can't.
You told me they can't touch at all.
No, but you can't make it. There's no. It's you don't grade something. You don't want to make it. It doesn't need to be an A plus. It needs to move the story along.
How do we make it better? I was being illustrative.
I just think that it. I just think that the physicality made it look very pro wrestling. And now we can go to the comments.
I think we established that. So, but then how do you end a hot segment?
Same way they did fucking in Glasgow. He fucking turned and walked and he started walking. It's like, all he has to say is, see you in Vegas, bitch.
And that's not more of the same.
No, because the dialogue was way spicier.
It was, for sure.
So that raised the temperature. I mean, think about when McGregor and Mayweather did their thing, and fucking Mayweather sat there, and eventually McGregor just ate him alive. So it's they didn't touch, and they did it several times. So you don't have to touch. It's just the fact that McGregor kept getting the better of him. Mm-hmm. So you get the better of him on the microphone in Cena's case, and then you take his finish at the end.
No, I wasn't a fan of that.
Seems to me like there's no reason to have a fucking match at this point. If I was Cody, I'd come back.
If I'm
next
Cody,
week.
I'm going for that early.
Well, I know, but if I'm Cody, I come back next week and say, listen, I left you laying last week. Maybe there's somebody else that fucking needs to, like maybe you just don't have it anymore. Obviously, I gave you my finish and it puts you on the fucking mat for fucking 3 hours. So maybe we need to get one of these young kids that, I just think I just thought it was.
But it happened. So what do we do next week in creative? Does Cena now have to leave Cody laying so that it doesn't seem as disproportionate?
No, you've already fucking nutted. I'll tell you a great story that Scott Hall told me. So one of his buddies was fucking romancing this stripper. And it was like, and he just finally gets her back to the girl's house. She's got silk sheets. So he's kissing on her neck. His finally, he pulls the sheets down and starts to go down on her. And as he's going down on her, she comes, and she's like, she gives him I want you up here. So he says. He's telling Scott the story. Of course, Scott tells it way better than I could ever fucking do it because it's Scott. But he says, and my buddy's, he starts like low crawling up like real slow. He says, but his hose is on that fucking silk fucking sheet. He says, by the time he got halfway up, just that fucking sensation made him blow his nut. So he says, he gets halfway up and goes, oh. And then he just goes and fucking worked his way back down and went back down on her till he got hard again.
I'll be up in a half hour.
Yeah, exactly. So so right now, man, like, John's already got Cody's cum on his gut, so that ain't gonna work.
Can we forever reference this as the silk sheet moment of Raw?
That's the silk sheet moment of Raw.
Well done, Scott. I'd like to point out that M and AJW wrote in and said, we had so much fun meeting and talking with you at the horror convention. Our daughter, who was supposed to be in bed, went crazy when she heard you talking about her.
This is it.
We love listening to the middle finger guy.
This
is them.
That was my couple. Thank you, guys. I really enjoyed meeting them. They were great.
Tom Talker 2000. God bless you, Kev. That you can give back to your fans, especially after everything you've been through. You are a consummate professional, and hopefully other talent follows your lead in how they interact with their fan base.
I'd just be me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but you're on the other side of it. So when you are a fan and you're watching somebody on TV for a long time, there's nothing worse than when you finally meet them. If you
but
have
I guarantee you there were people that met me when I came back and tried to do some things after T that probably think like, wow, that guy's kind of fucking aloof.
I think you probably got a little bit of a break.
Yeah, but
at the time,
there's a lot of there's a lot of people, man, that just they don't know. They don't know. They don't know. They don't know what you're going through. So
there's also different people approach you differently. Also, I remember one night we were sitting in a lounge. I don't know, it was in a hotel. The lounge in Nashville, and with Eric, and I was noticing how differently you get approached by different types of people. There's the slurry, sloppy, drunk guy that won't leave you alone, and then there's the guy that just comes over, drops a beer, goes, "Kev, love what you did. Here you go," blah blah blah, and is off, and you're like, "Thank you." So you got to deal with a lot of different personalities.
You also get the guy that for some reason thinks you're choking on meat and tries to give you a Heimlich maneuver or a fucking blow between your shoulder blades with a fucking hey.
Oh, like touching, hugging on you.
No, I mean when they fucking hit you. Like
oh God, really?
Oh fuck yeah.
The fuck is that all about? Well, because you're big, so they figure.
No, it's just because they've seen you for 10 years, and they figure. I mean, they
want to give you a chop.
No, they think that they know you.
Yeah.
To them, they know you. I don't know them, but that's why that's why I don't drink anymore. Thank God. B, it's just I've learned as life goes on that the one place you really can't get in trouble is your hotel room, because
your room.
Every fucking hotel's got cameras. So if somebody says you did something or did something else, I ain't opening my door.
Mm-hmm. It's like that lyric from the Rush song Limelight. I can't pretend a stranger is a long-awaited friend. Never
a Rush fan.
Yeah.
My wife hates them too. There's my wife and I have I knew we should get married because she doesn't like Rush. She doesn't like Styx. She named 5 bands. I was just hate them, hate them, hate them.
You may not like Rush's music, but they're some of the most.
REO. Ugh.
Oh. A little roll with the changes. Take it on the run. No. That's that soft, quasi rock. You could barely call it rock, but
yeah. I didn't like any of that.
You can get away with a few songs from Styx.
I'd rather listen to Ambrosia.
That's real. I mean, you really got to clip the nuts on that one. Jonathan Seaton. Hey, Kev. I've been in law enforcement over 20 years. I listened to your story about your ticket. I'm out of California, so I don't know how much traffic laws differ, but officers have an incredible amount of discretion in determining whether or not to cite. 8 miles per hour above speed in an unmarked work zone is neither egregious nor is it enforceable. You'd have to have a pretty good defense should you choose to challenge the ticket in court. As to the comment at the conclusion of the contact, completely unprofessional and inappropriate. In the academy, we are taught to keep it to the point on car stops, and if we choose to cite, don't make snarky comments such as, "Have a nice day." The gut punch of him bringing up your son was terribly unprofessional of the officer. In my opinion, that officer cited for no other reason than to bring back a trophy to brag about to his team and nothing else. Sorry this happened to you.
I am too, because it took 2 phone calls to get those points taken off my record.
Oh, so you handled it.
Fuck yeah. I am the Kevin Nash.
You what?
Remember he asked me, are you the Kevin Nash?
The Kevin Nash. Yes, that's
Yeah,
right.
I am. I made 2 phone calls.
So you don't have to appear anywhere to make that happen, I guess.
I don't have to. No, I just didn't want. I don't give a fuck. I told my my attorney. I said, I'll pay the fucking fine. I just don't want the points.
Yeah. So you talked to your lawyer about it?
Yeah, because so she went and looked. She drove and saw where the side going north was the work zone, completely with all the signage and everything else, cones. She saw a distinct median that has a curb on it. So it's not like it's grass or anything. It's a median with a curb that would be too tall for you to you would probably blow a tire if you just
Hit it.
went into it. And then she said she said I went up and turned the other way, and I saw that there was not any signage. It didn't say. She said there was an uneven pavement sign. She says, but that was out after the work zone. She said, and where you were pulled over was actually a 45 mile an hour, not a 40. And I said,
so you weren't even 8 over. You were
I was
3 over.
3 over. You know, so I mean, I just look at the whole thing, and it's just like they saw that fucking 5.0 Mustang with the stripes on it, and they thought this is some kid coming home. And once I pulled into the parking, you know, people pull on the side of the road because they panic, and they just wherever the cop, like me, like no man, I pulled him up around the corner and I pulled into a parking space, like in a lit parking lot. I put my windows down, I turned my dome light on, I put both hands on my steering wheel. Detroit 101. So when he walked up, number one, he should have immediately acknowledged that I did not leave him to be out inside with his body having to go to my side window and put himself in danger of traffic coming up behind him. I was courteous to that degree. I was courteous to the point of making sure that he knew that I wasn't armed, and I was showing respect and understood the complexities and the fucking dangerousness of his job. My fucking nephew's a police officer. So it's like, I respect the police. And this guy was, you know, I can't help it you're the last guy picked in gym class. Not my fucking fault. You know? And I'm sorry that my son probably banged one of your fucking girls that you liked. So, again, I'm sorry. It's just a thing us Nashes do. Boom.
Paul Fluitt says, talking about the 6-sided ring. For the viewer, it made it visually different. You could tell instantly this was TNA, and it led to the total nonstop action, the product that was promoted on. Of course, it helped guys like AJ Styles, Chris Sabin, Alex Shelley, Christopher Daniels, Samoa Joe knock it out of the park on a weekly basis. So I had more than one comment, by the way, sent in supporting what you were saying about the 6-sided ring. How different a world from when it was on TV and all you heard was shit talking about the 6-sided ring from fans. Now, I guess over time, it has aged like a fine wine and is acceptable to everybody. I still thought it was just a bullshit way to do it. Though you made a good point about the selling the merch, the toys.
But I mean, it also
which I wasn't considering.
For what they were selling that was different at that point than the WWE had was the X division, and that 6-sided ring made the ropes shorter, which made it better for aerial wrestling.
Mm.
I'll tell you what, man. I since we're going to go back and forth tonight anyway, I think that Logan Paul and AJ have a really good chance of stealing a big WrestleMania moment. Seems like those guys are, because I think AJ is professional enough where well, number one, Hurricane will put together a match for him, and Hurricane worked that style. So Hurricane will be able to put and Logan's not gonna. Logan wants to fucking do well. He'll put in his time. So I just think that's going to be a match that's going to be very, very, very watchable, with a chance to steal it.
I can see that happening.
Because they're both going to fucking lay it all out.
Yeah. But as far as the ring goes, I think as a marketing decision for the products, definitely was distinguishable. And I remember Waltman telling me, though, the difficulty when he would have to go on the top, because the angle of the ropes and the turnbuckle now were wider, right? So it wasn't the 90-degree angle. So the positioning of the feet, you had to kind of relearn, but readjust what you were doing if you were doing something off the top rope. So a little more of a learning curve maybe for the guys that you're talking about that way.
I think that there's two places you don't just go off the turnbuckle. For people that did slingshots and for people that did spots off the middle of the ropes were much stiffer. It was almost you couldn't really run those. Number one, the ring was so short. The top rope was short.
And being whipped to the ropes too, you'd have. I mean, it's hard to miss the right angle when there's only the four sides. But now, you could be kind of off a little and have to readjust. I'm sure that's happened too.
Well, I mean, if you don't know what the fuck you're doing,
or you just in the midst of things, not.
How do you
You're trained in a four-sided ring.
How do you send somebody to the middle? You're going to send them to the middle of the rope. You're going to fucking grab them by the arm. You're going to fucking place your feet, and then your back hand is going to push between their shoulder blades where that guy's going. How the fuck can you possibly send them to the wrong spot? Unless you don't know what the fuck
properly for it. If they're positioned properly.
How it's a work.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. Blowing me up completely.
It's like you'd have to be.
You'd have to be an idiot to use anything.
Be having this conversation.
To be using anything on your body. It's a little like working a match like that tonight. You'd have to be an idiot to use anything other than Mando on your body, is what I wanted to say. Spring is in the air. The weather's warming up, Kevin. One of the things I most look forward to is the change in seasons.
I think my wife's going to hide my Mando.
Why, you're just going crazy
with
it?
I went the other night. I came home after training the legs, and she's like, "We're going to dinner." And I said, "Yeah." And I sat down. I watched the news for a little bit. And she goes, "Are you going to get in the shower?" I said. She goes, "Oh, let me guess." I said, "Yep." I said, "Mando," and I hit the pits and hit the crotch. Put on my flip flops, and out in the car I went. She was just like, and then I brought the Mando with me, and I gave it like a spray on my seat. Like
before you get in, right?
Yeah, like come on, baby.
Yeah. Jesus Christ! I mean, you are not playing. He's 100% right. It is. We're talking 72-hour protection, and it kills the odor at the source, guys. We've been talking about this for months. Wipes, spray, stick, cream.
They need to make
and bar.
They need to make detergent pods. MANDO detergent pods.
I bet it's coming. You're joking, but I bet it's coming. You can get $5 off a starter pack right now, courtesy of us, when you use the code KLIQ, K-L-I-Q, at shopmando.com, shopmando.com.
That spray on the left that's my
go-to.
That's my dog right there, man.
And I love the way it's called a spray, but it's almost like a mist.
Yeah.
It comes out really soft, and you can turn that can upside down. But you get great coverage. Absolutely. You turn it upside down, and you get everything.
Yeah.
You can use all of their products on pits, balls, thigh folds, belly buttons, butt cracks, feet, anywhere that you want the protection. And
spray it in your new boots.
That's not a bad idea, actually. Or jam the wipe in there like you do with the shoes.
Absolutely.
All the products are baking soda free. They're paraben free. Solid stick deodorants, aluminum free spray deodorant. A variety of scents: bourbon leather, Cloverwoods, Mount Fuji, Pro Sport. Guys, don't just trust us. Try it for yourself. Mando's starter pack is perfect for new customers, okay? It comes with a solid stick deodorant, cream tube deodorant, and 2 free products of your choice. Grab a little body wash or some of those deodorant wipes. As a special offer for listeners, new customers get $5 off the starter pack with the exclusive code. That equates to over 40% off the starter pack. Use the code KLIQ, K-L-I-Q, at shopmando.com, shopmando.com. Please support the show. Tell them we sent you. Smell fresher, stay drier, boost your confidence from head to toe with that Mando. Kev Grip Strength wrote in and he said, looks like the delts are blowing back up, Big Daddy Cool.
They're on their way.
And Blake's Sanctum said, Delta has such a presence on this show that you guys should probably stick a plane with a similar color scheme flying over the car in the intro. Maybe with a door opening or something else going wrong. How was the... you were okay last outing with Delta, you said, right? Everything was fine.
So they still have the same planes that they fly from Daytona
right.
Beach to Atlanta. The entertainment systems don't work, and they have the sticker on it that says that, please, forgive us for our inconvenience, but we're in the process of doing this. And
still,
yeah, and it's a DC-8 propeller plane, so yeah.
I'm getting word in right now that Cena is going to be shooting a movie in Europe, so he'll be off Raw for 2 weeks. So I guess the next time we'll see him is would that leave the go home?
Right? Yeah, the last thing. No, 2 weeks. 2 weeks.
2 Mondays.
2 weeks is this. I leave for the 17th for Mania.
Right, and what's today? Is it Monday or is it Thursday?
It's 13 days for Mania for me to leave.
Okay, so that's it. So we'll see him again at Mania.
So that was the last thing we saw was that.
Apparently, unless he's flying back and forth, I don't think the production would allow that, though.
Because they're out of Europe now. They're back. Yeah. They're back home.
Right. How about the Usos and Gunther? Gunther emerged as the monster that I think they want him to be after the bloodbath and the zip tying Jimmy. Jay, I'm sorry. While he had Jimmy in the ring. What did you think of what they did with Gunther?
I mean, they've painted him super strong, almost to the point of it's not believable that Jay's going to go over. So then it means Jay's going to go over.
Well, he has to, right? I mean, obviously, right?
But
or does spend the whole movie building up the monster?
Or does he? Or do you keep that guy? Do you keep the heel? You can't have a bunch of babyface champs. Mm-hmm. So if Cody, depending on I don't think that Cody's going to lose at Mania. I don't think the last thing you're going to see that night, unless The Rock's involved somehow in the finish.
Right.
That could.
Is he too strong? Maybe
Who's too strong?
Gunther. Like, is it?
You can't be too strong.
No.
Well,
Jay's over, so people
Jay's
are going to
over.
buy into the.
And he's having self-doubt, and he's in a spot that he's never been before.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's the underdog. So, you don't want it to be like the fucking Final Four with all fucking 1 seeds.
But I mean, he can't lose. So book it for me. What do we do?
I think Gunther goes over. I think it's a hell of a match, and I think Gunther goes over. Of course,
you can do it without hurting.
And
they like the yeets, obviously. The Office, so you don't want to hurt that. So you got to do it and still keep Jay strong.
Bo. Jay Strongbow. I think that I don't think that it hurts him to. I don't think it hurts him to lose. Did it hurt Rocky to lose in Rocky 1?
Well, okay, so then I guess it depends what happens in the course of the match. You could still do it, and
yeah. So in Rocky 1, I mean, this is the first time Jay's been to this level. So if he comes up short and he gets fucked to get there. He gets, Gunther's really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I think that I think that it would hurt Gunther, and I think Jay's bulletproof. I think Jay's over.
How are they handling the Rhea Bianca thing?
Fucking horrible in my estimation. I don't want to see fucking Sky and Bianca. I want to see Bianca and Rhea.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see Rhea, and I don't give a fuck who. I mean, I just want to see. I mean, and I'm not. I mean, I'm just talking about. She's a fucking star, man.
Yeah, for sure. They know that.
The way she moves and.
So what should they do?
At this number one, I would fire the general manager for putting Bianca as the referee and not having it be a no DQ match.
Right.
That was that's the stipulation right there. Is if Bianca doesn't want to wrestle Rhea, so of course she's going to fucking. I mean, and to put your baby face in that predicament, I don't think that's a good thing.
In watching the three of them on Raw, where does Io Sky fit in with these two? She seemed very athletic, but she's
demonstrative
to the physic.
She's demonstrative. She doesn't have the fluidity. Her striking's not. I don't think her striking's believable. She does okay with her feet. She does well reversing reversing moves, but that's that shit where fucking they go off the top rope and it looks like Rhea's going to kill her. And then Rhea does the sell job. And then when you watch it in slow motion for the 9th time, you realize, oh, she got her legs under. It's like a Canadian destroyer move. Every time you see that, you're like, so who got hurt? They didn't both get hurt? Like,
Right.
you know. Oh, yeah, but she didn't have her seatbelt on. Oh, okay. I get it. So, I don't know. I just think that WrestleMania is the night of stars, and you have to have Rhea on the card because she is, on the Raw brand, she is the biggest female star. And Liv also, but so.
How about Punk and Paul Heyman and where this is going?
I love everything. Everything Paul that Phil's doing is like so spot on because it's exactly how it should be. Everything feels just a tad underplayed. It feels real.
Mm-hmm.
Feels
yeah,
like,
definitely.
It just he's now we've got a situation where we're in the dreaded, 3-man, if I can, the 3-way.
Yeah.
And, there's no way that there's not really heat between Roman and Phil, between Roman and Punk. There's really not heat. I think that the conduit there is Paul, kind of wavering with his alliance with Roman. I don't know if I think it's too subtle, and we don't have enough time to fucking. So I think you're gonna have to put something like a Hell in a Cell. So you have to add an element to this match to allow them to sell while the other two guys do spots. That's just my opinion.
Gotcha. Right.
It's going to be very hard to go out there and have
You know how you guys would get in the car and talk about the match afterwards and kind of break it down and I'm talking
Well,
about...
now you get on your bus and you talk to your driver.
But I was going to ask you, does that element still exist? Like when you and Scott and Sean, and you like pull it apart because you knew it was going to happen again in 2 nights?
It doesn't exist.
It doesn't exist, right?
No, it doesn't exist. It shows. No, it absolutely shows. Our matches didn't look like Circus Soleil matches. Mm-hmm. Our matches weren't based on high spots.
You think a guy like Punk would do that? Kind of.
He would
dissect the.
I think he would. I think that all those guys would. I don't know any of them well enough to know or not know if they're, sitting on a 3-way call, putting shit together. They call in the office and getting. Back in the day, we used to have to have them send us VHSs of guys' fucking matches and shit because we didn't have the ability to. We're on the road. We didn't,
I wonder if that
it wasn't like my wife is and that's another thing too is that it's so much of this is what the producers like what the office puts together instead of in our era we went in and pitched Vince, we're thinking about doing this and this. What do you think about it? And Vince would say, I like that, I don't want that. And you say, but we need that. And you said, oh, no, you don't need that. and 9 times out of 10, Vince would be right. You know, he would. So.
But you don't think the top guys today? You don't think Cody or
I
or
think that
Cena
they
would go right to Paul with we want to do this, we want to do this, we want to do this.
Yeah, no, I think that they do, but at the same time, so Paul's gonna have his vision. Cody's gonna have his vision. Cena's gonna have his vision. And the difference is that when we were doing it, I'll take Brett and I, for example.
Mm-hmm.
Brett and I didn't travel together, but Brett and I, on our 3 days off, would be on the phone putting shit together the whole time. So I don't know. You know, they have so much more time off than we did.
Right.
You know, so they have the ability now to go to the performance center and walk through shit, and I mean they have so many opportunities to make, but at the same time, do you want to put something together that just you go out there and fucking the Vegas crowd, you know, you go out there and it's Toronto, and it's Hogan versus Rock, and Rock on the fly says, "Fuck it, I got to work heel."
Right.
If something's already laid, if Rock says "fuck you," I'm the babyface, and he doesn't make that switch, that thing's, you know, that thing would have went south. So I mean, you've got that whole thing, and John is John is as good, and I think Cody is also as good as anybody working without a net. So I think that they're going to be fine. I think their match is going to be great. I'm really looking forward to their match. But the only thing is that John isn't going to have the ring time. Like, John's not coming in with 3-4 months of working 3-4 nights a week underneath his belt. And that's always, you know, so that advantage goes to Cody. Because Cody's living the life right now.
Mm-hmm. What do the odds look like for some of these matches, Steve? Do you have some betting odds? Vegas for Vegas. So okay, so Cena, the heavy favorite, at a -250 to Cody's +170. Really? I'm a little surprised by the amount of that spread. The triple threat favorite is Roman. Jay, a -600 to +350. Wow, favorite over Gunther. -600 that's the heaviest favorite. No, Randy Orton's a heavy favorite at a -1000. And then, what did I skip? Oh, Charlotte, the ladies, man. Charlotte favorite. Wow, heavy money on Jay. And John. Because, yeah, I mean, John's doing his tour. And we already talked about, you made it clear to me, you schooled me, you don't have to turn John back before the end of the year to babyface. You can ride it out. Have him ride into the sunset that way. Are you surprised by how heavy the money is on Jay right now?
Well, because you really can't bet on this. This is just bullshit fucking numbers.
You can bet overseas.
Yeah, right. We're not talking overseas. We're talking us. That's just numbers. Okay. That's as much of a work as the fucking
the match itself.
Yeah.
No, it's not a goddamn.
Give me those numbers back up, and then let me book.
I always said this is wrestling, man. No one opened an overseas account and has a little money on this and makes a change at the last minute.
Shit. You'd be a damn fool.
You'd be a fool if you did not wear the perfect jean before you left the house. I love my perfect jean. Kev, it's got the flexibility. You could do yoga in these damn things, but it is still a pair of jeans.
Can you do DDP yoga?
You probably could, matter of fact. I love them because they fit right. Oh, yeah, of course he could. I love them because of the fit. I get the slim fit. And because there's some give, they don't feel like slim fit. They don't feel like I have anything on. I feel like I'm walking ball swinging. The amount of combinations, more than 5,000 ways to get your fit, guys. 6 fits. The sizes range from a 26 to a 50-inch waist, lengths up to 38. Different colors, different fits. You put it all together on the website. It is so much fun. And imagine denim so stretchy that it's still sharp enough to turn heads, but it's yoga ready. It's comfy enough. You're going to forget you're wearing them until someone compliments you on them. The jeans move with you, okay? Whether you're chasing kids, tackling chores, or just chilling like a boss, the perfect jean has redefined what jeans could be. The perfect jean. No more crushed nuts, saggy diaper butts. These things are amazing. It's about time men had some luxury options to them, especially in casual wear like this. And for a limited time, our listeners are going to get 15% off their first order, plus free shipping at theperfectjean.nyc. Did you hear that? It's .nyc. Or just Google the perfect jean. Use the code KLIQ15, K-L-I-Q 15 for 15% off. That's 15% off for new customers at theperfectjean.nyc with promo code KLIQ15. After you purchase, they're going to ask you where you heard about them. Please support the show. Tell them we sent you, and fuck your khakis. Get the perfect jean. I love them. Have the light blue. I think it's called the Joker color on the website. I do have that. Rocking those. I need to get a darker pair. I want to get a black pair, actually. I just reminded myself to do that. Kev, in market news, one word, we're fucked. Yeah.
So I look at this whole fucking quagmire, and between Trump's last, I guess they call it Trump 1.0, and Biden's 4 years, they collectively put about $5 trillion worth of stimulus into the economy. And I know for a fact when Biden put that last stimulus, sent that last stimulus checks out, like everybody was like, no, we don't need it. No, it's so that fucked up a lot of shit. And I think that put the market in a position where it could like I really thought that the S&P when it made the 10 point drop that it was, you know, but now we're talking another 5 today.
You talking about the stimulus after COVID? The market roared on after that.
What's that?
The stimulus after COVID, you mean?
But they kept it going. They kept dumping it.
The market was very strong. The market was damaged at COVID, but we bounced back. It corrected.
Yeah,
and
they
it was
kept
fine.
dumping
We were hitting
stimulus into it.
Record highs. People's investments were safe.
So let's go to today's markets. But
the one day you mean, or what?
No,
do you
we just had the fucking today's numbers.
Oh, to all of the
Yeah.
okay, yeah, right there on the bottom there. So we're
I
down.
don't want to
What
see
the
the
S&P
Dow.
was.
Just put the fucking Yeah, there we go. Oh, goddamn. Just put just the numbers.
The list. The list we
of
had
all of them.
At first, where it was all the indexes.
Just the related
It's
markets.
Right Dow Jones down 3.98.
There we go.
NASDAQ was 5.97. Russell 2000 6.59.
You look at the NASDAQ's down another 6.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's just, I don't know.
Sooner or later, the story, the false narrative that this is temporary, everything's going to be fine, that's going to have to be abandoned. There's going to have to be some real talk about what to do.
Well, it just doesn't make sense when, the U.S. auto worker, it costs $70 an hour is the U.S. auto worker. $40 an hour is the Canadian auto worker, and $6 an hour is the Mexican auto worker. Like, that's what you have, into your product. So we're going to go, this is Trumponomics, so we're going to shut everything down, and we're going to open from scratch because we don't have the ability to we have no factories that are sitting around that are just, that hey, we used to make the M1 tank there. Well, hell, let's build cars. So we're 5 years away from putting together a manufacturing infrastructure. If 5 years. And by that time, he's long gone. So make sure you fuck shit. Instead of doing all these things, like, if I was the president of the United States,
Mm-hmm.
I would call our major, like, to me, to bow down to Russia, who we've already talked about 1 billion times, that has a 2.2 trillion GDP, as opposed to the European Union, which is like a 23, 24. Like, sit down, and if they're such horrible fucking trade partners,
Mm-hmm.
and I mean, you would have to have numbers. You would have to have proof of all this.
Mm-hmm.
Sit down, have a summit, and say, listen, we need to rectify this trade situation, and do that. I mean, use some diplomacy. And
That's the. Mm-hmm. Good, sorry.
Go ahead.
That's the problem, is the approach to this. Conceptually, talking about an imbalance in trade, I mean, we've been talking about it forever, and we can go back to NAFTA and dig through all that, but it is how you get to the end result. This using a sledgehammer to try and adjust the spine is going to do nothing but break the back.
Yeah,
I mean,
this
is 3 fucking months in.
He
ain't getting through his term. I'll tell you that. Not at this pace.
Oh, he'll get through. It's not that he'll get through it. We won't.
As a nation.
Yeah, I mean, we're on our way to a recession, and if people don't see that this guy is fucking absolutely, when you you wait until 4 o'clock when the markets close, and then you go to the Rose Garden, and you come out there with these laminated fucking tariff cards, and they're supposed to be like, hey, we laminated these for you so you would, be able to, like, see that we're serious here, And then we also have the Herd and McDonald Islands that will be doing the 10%
Hitting
tariff
10%. I guess the penguins are going to be.
Yeah, there's no humans
on
that
Herd
live
Island?
there, but they are actually, I believe, under Australian rule. So in case that there's a giant flux of Australians that they decide to start
building plants
Arctic,
there.
yeah, Arctic.
Here's some
fucking,
footage of Herd Island for you.
How can you even see
There
that
you
through
go.
the giant
There they
ice
are.
wall that covers the flat Earth?
They're the workers with the beaks.
Yeah, I think they're unionized.
Oh, clearly.
Yeah.
There's a lot. There's solidarity there.
I just look at that and I say, so if you tell me that you're doing tariffs on these cats here, I'm supposed to take what you tell me is fucking serious? Like, dude, you don't have a clue.
I mean, hasn't any administration been this incompetent in such a short amount of time to lose such a to implode?
I can barely hear you.
Oh, did something happen?
Oh, are you too far away?
Was I leaning back too far? Maybe that's possible.
Yeah, probably.
The implosion in such a short period of time. Has this ever been the case in another administration? I'm reading now that people are tired of Musk in the cabinet. They like to ask, and that he might be leaving Doge. Did I see this?
Well, they pushed it now to it was always going to be just 100 days.
I'm talking about Doge like it's a real thing. They sat around and made it up. It's not a real thing.
No.
Doge. It's like our gang took over the White House.
It's like we're gonna fucking stop allowing all the zoos to have unicorns. So,
Right.
it's just, and then on top of that, like, I don't know about anybody else, but if I'm a shareholder in Tesla and this guy's walking around with a fucking cheese head on trying to get Supreme
Wisconsin,
Court
yeah.
elected in Wisconsin, and he shits the fucking bed. Like, one thing I will say about Trump is, if he fucking in any form or fashion thinks that you're going to fucking be an anchor, another great day for Tesla.
That's year to date. What happened today? Is it so it's down? Let's see. One day. What was 5.47% today? I think it was 29% year to date last 3 months. If you're anyone, you said if he perceives you're going to be an anchor,
Yeah, he gets rid of you.
right?
He had that Steve. What's that girl's name? That she's that crazy broad. She's got like purple hair and she wears the sunglasses. She's oh God, man, she was in the Laura, whatever her name is. She was in the Oval Office today, and
Saying Lorna Luft.
she met with the security cat, along with fucking the president.
And then 3 people were fired after the
people,
meeting.
Yeah, three people were fired. And this is just some crackpot.
There's no vetting. It's play. They're playing.
There she is.
There she is. Yeah, everyone's playing. Fortunately, we're the ones. And you know what? People are fine with it. People get their dose from Fox. What were they covering today, Kev? I'm sure it was the market.
No,
last
the
collapse of the world.
Last night it was that the entire time that Biden was in office, that he was mentally incapacitated, and they showed him like wandering around during meetings, and they went on, and they I guess like there's a bunch of books that are coming out now that Biden's out of office, where they're saying, you know, that when he did the
debate.
But the prep for the debate, the guy that got him ready, they were saying how like the first day he went like 40 minutes and he got lost, And he said he was tired, and he took a break, and they went out, and he was fucking out by the pool. And they're like, hey, Joe. He said then the next day he was losing his voice, and they went like 20 minutes. He said, I'm just tired. I need to take a nap.
Yeah, there's no doubt. He was old. And so the headline right now, Trump admits... Trump admins warning after America puts tariff on more than 108 goods. So they're covering it like this is good stuff. The world is taking notice.
How can it not? How can it not? We're in a world economy, and you just fucking dropped a fucking nuclear bomb on it.
Unbelievable. Tremendous. Yeah, they yeah, well, they can't cover. They're listen. What came out in that $780 billion judgment against them was that they're an assigned mouthpiece for a party. So that's not news. They have a very definitive mission. There's slant and leaning to every news source, but
oh God, yes.
But the exposure of knowingly carrying misinformation that the courts cited, how they didn't lose the news designation is still lost on me. But people will ensconce themselves in that because they need that comfort. And whatever.
Once again, the Wall Street Journal
record.
bashed him 2 days ago. And Murdoch's papers is like the CEOs. Everybody was like, "Hey, yay! Trump's back. Deregulation." What? You're doing what?
Right. Well, but this is entirely to take $4.7 trillion for a tax break for themselves. They're just trying to offset that. They're just taking that money wherever they can. The random cuts to programs and everything that's going on. It's a money grab. That's all it is. So it's pickpocketing. And who cares what happens to the victim, and we're the victim. But homeboy who likes to toot in the trailer, they're fine because they're clueless. Kevin, I think we should move to Florida Man Jersey guy while we're on this level of mentality. We can remind everyone that this is brought to you by BLUECHEW today. If you don't know what BLUECHEW is, you've been living under a rock. Have better sex with BLUECHEW. Original brand offering chewable tablets for better sex. And starting now, BLUECHEW's offering a combo so strong it's going to knock you for a loop. BLUECHEW Max, my friends, combines the active ingredients of Viagra and Cialis into one chewable tablet. The combo acts fast and it lasts. Just be ready. That's the whole point. You be ready when she needs it. You got to be ready to go. The entire process is done online. It makes it very user-friendly. No visits to the doctor, no awkward conversations, no waiting in line at the pharmacy. Tablets are made in the USA, prepared and shipped directly to your door. No tariffs on these bitches. Make your life easier by getting harder. Discover your options at BlueChew.com. And we've got a special deal. Try your first month free. Use the promo code NASH. Pay $5 shipping. That's promo code NASH. Visit BlueChew.com for more details and important safety information. We thank BLUECHEW. We continue to sing your praises, BLUECHEW. Viva las BLUECHEW. All right, Kev, two headlines. A Florida man, a Jersey guy. Let's see what we got. First one. 51-year-old man arrested for attempted grand larceny in Rome government impersonation fraud case. That was a mouthful. Let me say it again.
Whoa. You guys say that.
51-year-old man arrested for attempted grand larceny in Rome government impersonation fraud case. Rome.
That seems very sophisticated for a Florida man. Go ahead, next.
Maybe. Well, here's the second one. See how sophisticated this is. Naked man with beer and women's underwear arrested for exposure at a crowded beach.
There we go. Yeah, seems to me like we didn't have to go to. I said Rome.
Yeah, they went to Rome.
Yeah.
They went to Rome for this scam. An arrest has been made in connection with a government impersonation fraud investigation over in Rome. According to the Rome Police Department on May 31st, Detective Division,
I do a little toot.
with support from New York State Police, found what's his name? Keaton Patel of Edison, New Jersey.
These damn Patels.
Running this scam. And then let's see our friend in Florida here. This is, I always like to see where in Florida this happened. Oh, there he is.
Oh.
Taken to jail after he allegedly exposed himself while on a public beach. Martin LeBoff of Freeport.
Looks like Buford Pusser.
Was arrested on March 27th.
Remember that actor that played Buford Pusser?
What, from?
The fucking Walking Tall, the original? Joe Don Baker or whatever his name was.
Oh, no. Okay. The original Walking Tall. Haven't seen it. Was that Clint Eastwood?
No, it was. I think his name was Joe Don Baker. I don't know.
What am I thinking of? I'm thinking of a Clint Eastwood film. Okay.
Steve, help us out.
Help us out. Bring that up while I remind everyone that Get Blitzed is still the high point of the show, folks. All of us here have tried the nano-infused Delta 9 THC sip and syrup. What I'm talking about is a simple syrup you put in your beverage of choice. Fast onset, 5 to 15 minutes, nano-infused means it goes right into your bloodstream, bypassing the breakdown in the liver. It works like alcohol, and it's a tolerance killer. If you're in Maryland, you can hit them up at the Stay Lit Smoke Shop. But for the rest of us, it's legal to ship right from the Get Blitzed website to almost all 50 states without a med card as long as you're over 21. Right now, you can save 15% by entering the code KLIQ, K-L-I-Q, at checkout. Go to get-blitzed.com. That's get-blitzed, B-L-I-T-Z-E-D.com to try the Delta 9 THC sip and syrup. And, Kev, I got to tell you, I was talking to Mickey several times this week. I've been in meetings this week, Kevin, because the Kliq This line of Lit Aid is coming real soon. And they've gotten rid of all the old cans, the limited edition cans. And talking about some commercials. Kev, you ready to shoot a spot?
I'm ready to get our cocktail.
Yeah, your cocktail was on the assembly line when I talked to them Wednesday. So I think the first pallet is of whatever 2,000 or whatever is done for you.
I think Florida Man mixed yours. It was a little strong.
It was a little too much, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's coming. Big launch. Oh, it's going to be very exciting.
I can't believe
guys.
mine's actually being produced in Rome. That's crazy.
Yes. Listen, Mr. Patel, you just calm down, get off your camel, and have a goddamn drink. All right, we're back with Kliq This, the Kevin Nash podcast. Springtime is here, Kev. You know what we're talking about? We're talking about baseball season underway. So don't miss your chance to add your favorite players from the diamond to your prize picks lineup. Prize picks is so much fun. We've played it here on air. Whether it's strikeouts you're talking about, RBIs, first inning runs, take your pick of the more or less option to win your shot of up to 1,000 times your cash today. It's the best way to get action on sports in more than 30 states, including California, Texas, and Georgia, by the way. Really easy to use. To create a lineup, all you do is pick more or less on a few player stats, like the aforementioned strikeouts maybe, or RBIs. On Prize Picks, you can mix and match the player projections from different sports even. You know, we're looking at some real time here. What do we have? The Phillies? Who am I looking at there? They're red. What is it there? Who is that? So, okay, so these are today's games we're looking at. And if I wanted to make some picks, I could say more or less than, let's see, Gavin Williams. What's that there? 6.5 pitcher strikeout. So I would say more or less than that number. Put that together, a few players, few statistics, and I'm rolling. All right? Guys, sign up today. Get $50 instantly. When you play $5, you don't even need to win to receive the $50 bonus, okay? Download the app and use the code KLIQ, K-L-I-Q, to get that $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Download the app, use the code KLIQ, and you get your $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize picks, guys. A lot of fun. Run your game. Thank you, Prize Picks. Lots of fun. And if you want to ask Nash a question, it's hashtag Ask Nash. That's how we get it done. Or join us here live in the taping, like many of our friends have done, by going to kliqthistv.com and signing up to become part of the 11 Soft Club. Joe Klemenchik sent in a question. He said, "Hey, Kev, Steve Austin once said he needed to drink a pot of coffee to keep up with Shawn Michaels. With pre-workouts gaining popularity in the early 2000s, did the boys swear by coffee before events? I know you said you largely steer away from stimulants now."
I don't do any STEM shit. I'm anti-STEM.
Right. Was he speaking literally or figuratively when Steve said that he needed to drink a pot of coffee to keep up with Shawn?
Well, I'm sure there was a degree of facetiousness, but
Stephen
number
Breach.
one, good luck getting a cup of a fucking pot of coffee in those days.
Certainly not in the garden. Stephen Breach. Does WCW not get enough praise for the Power Plant? Was it way before its time and the WWE Performance Center? Was it available for you to stop in any time and work on stuff as a WCW wrestler? So first, do you think it should get more props for the way they had the training facility set up before WWE?
I remember when I started having a hand in creative, one of the first things I did was they had those guys down there for like 6 hours, then they had lunch, then another 6 hours. I'm like, you can't, this is like fucking a sport. Like 3 hours.
Mm-hmm.
You know? If you're going to do anything, take the guys that are more advanced and have them come in the afternoon, have the other guys, break it into 2 shifts. But I said, it was very, it didn't get the accolades it probably wanted because it was run so 1970 Hindu squat.
Right.
That, you're under contract, but let me see if I can still run you off.
Grind you
just
into submission.
Stupidity.
Yeah. How about some questions from our friends here in the house, members of the 11 Soft Club, courtesy of KliqThisTV.com. Who do we got? Hey, Britt, now in Florida, formerly of Philly. Since it's not believable to people that Jay can beat Gunther, would it have to be a gimmick match like a no DQ Hell in the Cell or something along those lines to make it believable? If he's to get the win, I guess she means.
I mean, you can still tell the story, and Gunther could miss a move and injure himself, and Jay could take advantage of that. Like, you can still psychologically, with good storytelling, tell a story that makes Gunther fight from underneath, and Jay it's just Jay's night. You could do it. We did it one time with Goldberg and Sid, and we didn't want to beat Sid, so Sid didn't want to gig, so we had a doctor gig him, and then we kind of super glued him up, and then it ended up where Bill busted him open during the match. It may have been in Vegas, and the referee stopped the match because Sid was bleeding
for blood. Okay.
Like a real fight. So, mean, there's ways around it. I don't think you have to. You need a gimmick. You just need to tell a believable story. That's all.
All right, very good. Thank you, Britt. I watched you in Detroiters, Kev. I texted you.
Yeah.
It was great. I love the brand of comedy. I love how you did that. Just by playing it straight, it made it fucking hilarious.
I did a little bit of Farley on the physical comedy with the gunshots. That was a little.
Oh, at the end.
Little Farley there, but no.
Best shot though is when the ladies.
I just think that's. I mean, if I love comedy, it's just.
The shot in the elevator when the old lady's bending over and the door's closing and you're just going. Brilliant. Brilliant.
Thank you.
Next question. Who do we have? Jen Vargo. Did anyone see what Mick Foley's car looked like after the accident he had? That man is lucky he walked away from it.
Yeah, and the thing was too. It looked to me like he hit the windshield. You know, it doesn't look like he had a seatbelt on.
Yeah, but of all people, I mean that car is indicative of Mick's career in the ring in hardcore matches. So it's like,
well,
of course that would be Mick.
I sent Mick a text message and I just said, this late into the game for any of us, man, none of us need to be taking any blows to the head.
No. I'm glad he's all right.
I'm just glad my buddy's okay. I love Mick.
Yeah. What else we got here, Steve-O? Ace Ramon. Hey, Ace. Did you ever meet Dick Durock, the OG Swamp Thing? And is that a role you'd consider?
He was on I did an episode of that television show down in Universal with Elegante.
Which show was it?
Swamp Thing.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah. No, I don't want to be 65 years old in prosthetics all day long.
I was going to say, you want to get in a giant rubber suit all day?
Not
get
a
to
chance.
the set at 5:30?
I don't want to have to bag my fucking hog, let alone put prosthetics on.
All right, what do we see? Jen? Was it Jen again? Got my third tattoo Tuesday night. Thoughts on women with tattoos from you or Sean?
Well, our passionate appeal for Rhea would seem to think that we're not ink opposed by any means.
That's fine. It's fine. Let me see how many women have.
I don't know if I would want. I think I like it on women. I don't know if I'd like it to be on my woman, like a lot of ink.
Well, I was going to say, how much are we talking? Where are we talking? Yeah, I mean, I've been with ladies with tattoos, but never like sleeves and stuff. Some discreetly or targetedly placed ink.
Yeah, no, when it comes down to it, ink is ink. A beautiful girl is a beautiful girl. The two of them together, it's not going to, as long as she doesn't tattoo above her neckline, I don't, as long as I can take her out and we're not going to, but I think my wife.
So you're all right, Jen. 3, Jen? I think you're all right.
Three's fine.
3, you're fine. Kliq This is a production of Butch and Sundance Media, produced in association with. Hold on, let's get one more. There was a question there. Sorry, Instagram. How about a Ghibli'd style picture of Mr. Nash?
I don't even know what that means.
Oh, there's us.
Oh.
This is ChatGPT has a new function now where you can just in like 1 second feed in an image. So if Steve took a snapshot of the screen and gave it to it, it would throw it out there with Kev the DELTS. That ChatGPT definitely has to work on the DELTS.
Well, it looks to me like I'm on the cocktail because I'm definitely HIV positive.
And I look like JR in that fucking picture.
I mean, I look like I'm Biden. I'm serious.
No, I'm serious.
I'm serious.
You out by the pool when you should be learning your debate lines?
I'm tired. You gotta get a nap. I'm serious.
Production of Butch and Sundance Media, produced in association with Podcast T, created by Tristan Nash, Kevin Nash, and Sean Oliver, producer Steve Kaufman, graphics by Dominic D'Angelo, title sequence and audio edit by Wesley Burleson, theme song by Dale Oliver, technical research by Tristan Nash, copyright 2025, Butch and Sundance Media. Kev, do you want to do another one?
You talking about TOOT?
Let us free to fade away into eternity. A circulate, you've come to love me, but now I'm frozen in dead flesh. Oh, Sophie, knew all along it was a trick, but the customer service never answers a thing. Let us free to breathe in air we're supposed to breathe. Through twists and turns, you've come to love me. Now I'm cold, I'm frozen. Baby, we're broken, and the customer service never